Hello everybody, I know it's a weird milestone, but we have reached 13k subs and I wanted to make a Q&A video, well for a long time actually. When I made my first Arknights video, I didn't honestly think it was going to get anywhere. So to have made it this far, I'm really happy. I'm really actually enjoying making the Arknights videos and stuff, and I actually have so much ideas, and surprisingly Arknights is really easy to make content for because there's like so many possible combinations, which goes back to that old Arknights video I made talking about why we love Arknights. But I'm only here because of all of you, so I want to say thank you for all the views, all the likes, all the comments, for all the stupid memes you guys have made. I love it to bits. We are currently having a weird little paint drawing contest on my server, so you can go check that out if you are interested. But without further ado, let's drop straight into the questions. My first question from Kaiser MLG. I love that, man. Top 5 most favorite anime. God damn it, Kaiser, why are you making it so difficult? My top 5 favorite anime. This is actually a really hard one. I know Guilty Crown is definitely there. Guilty Crown I actually watch every Christmas. Because it's about last Christmas. I don't know what really else to say because there's a lot of good anime, but I really love Poca no Hero, Violet Evergarden, and then I like kind of like sad anime like A Silent Voice or Anohana, things like that. So I don't know my top 5, but I think that gives you a kind of idea. Also really like shonen, like I watched all of Black Clover. Actually I really enjoyed Black Clover, and I miss Fairy Tail. You know what, I couldn't think of a top 5. There's a bunch of anime I said, take it or leave it. Next question. Ren Kiryu asks, if you were given a chance to be isekai'd into Terra as someone who isn't the doctor, would you take it to be with Aya? Conditions? Conditions are that you would have no background and you would be infected, but at least you get magic cancer powers. I always thought that Arknights would be one of the worst places to get isekai'd into. I actually, in terms of like getting isekai'd into anime, I've thought about this since like high school already. And hear me out, the best anime to get isekai'd into is Pokemon. Now, that's because Pokemon is the safest anime. You literally cannot die there. It is family friendly. Unless it's the Pokemon Adventures manga, then you fucked. But otherwise, no, I think I would do it because I'd like to hang out with all the characters there. I'd have magic cancer, but I'd be with Rhodes Island since obviously you said it would to be with Aya. So I would obviously be at Rhodes Island with Aya. So I'd have the best possible medical care in the world. Next question. This question is by Kryliosis. What is your favorite event in Arknights so far? My favorite event in Arknights is kind of hard to pinpoint because I really love the story of Blemmenshine recently with her event, and she was just going at it. That was cool. It felt like a shonen anime. But I would have to say it was Twilight of Volmont or Vulemont or whatever you want to call it. And that is because I screamed so much at Mudrock and I could not for the life of me figure out how to beat her. Oh, the pain. I still have a video on it where I love that event so much. Oh, it was fun. It was the most pain. It was the most pain, especially with the old towers and needing fast redeploys. And people were like, oh, build gravel. And I was just like, fuck you, I ain't building gravel. This next question is from Kaizura, one of my mods. Your favorite non-playable story character in Arknights? Frostnova. 200%. I love Frostnova to bits. I know a lot of people look at that scowl that she always makes and they're like, oh, okay, no, not the kind person. But Frostnova was actually really kind and sweet. This next question comes from JJ Reglos, and they ask, what are your initial thoughts about Chapter 9? Also, any predictions in the main story going forward? Congrats on the 13k subs. Thank you, thank you. My initial thoughts on Chapter 9 is that I think that after the whole story of Chapter 8, Chapter 9 is going to open up and explore. It has many possibilities, but from what I've seen from CN stuff, so I'm not gonna mention too much, but it looks like we're going towards like Victoria's side. And there is a lot of things, but I'm not gonna talk about it in case some people don't want to know. But there is a lot of interesting things that I definitely saw that I have a couple of theories on, and some other people have theories on. But I'm really interested to see the direction they're going to take it now that we've concluded one arc of Arknights. Arknights. Smart. Kiselim asks, since Aya is getting a skin, what theme would you want it to be? Well, we know what the theme of the skin is going to be for Eyjafjalla, and that would actually be a summer skin. But the ideas that I did have for Eyjafjalla would include something like a magical girl skin. I thought that would be pretty cool because her volcano would be like this cool, like sparkly star kind of effect. I kind of predicted that there would be a summer skin because I feel like Anmi is very good at throwing water. Makan Lamak asks, I hope I said that right, is there a video about you making an essay about how much you love Eyjafjalla? In your arsenal. Like, you know how when Chin gave Blue Poison a voice card as a present at her birthday? I made a video for Aya's birthday last year. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet because I don't like planning that far ahead because, to be fair, her birthday's in October and things could change drastically by then. By then she'll have a skin. Yeah, I think we'll wait on that one. We'll see how it goes. Anderson asks, tell me the reason why you chose Aya to simp over. Well, my friend kept sending me memes and pictures and things like that. So eventually he just sent me a picture of Eyjafjalla and I was like, damn, she's a character in the game? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, and you can get her? She's not limited? He's like, yeah. And I started playing Arknights. And actually, once I started playing, it was like a month, and then they had an Eyjafjalla Ifrit banner, I think, or something like that. So Eyjafjalla came up and I got to draw for her. And that was the first and only Eyjafjalla I ever got. Interestingly enough, her voice actor turned out to be my favorite anime waifu, Mirai from Beyond the Boundary. And I really love Mirai. She's always, like, I always thought she was small, cute, soft and fluffy. She's like top tier anime waifu for me. And then Eyjafjalla, same voice actor, same kind of thing. Is the only one that calls you senpai. That's really weird, I know. Next question comes from Zexon. If any operator could get a class conversion like Amiya in the future, which operator do you want to have it and why? Also, how's your day? Oh, my day is lovely. Thank you for asking. What I would like, I mean, I'm just, and that's gonna sound kind of cheap, but if Eyjafjalla had a class conversion, I could just use her more in more scenarios. Like, I do bring her everywhere and she's always good, right? But like, I would just like to put her into different situations. Although I think if someone really needed a class change, I would say I would like it to be Chen. I love Chen. Chen is so cool. I love her in the story. I love dropping her as a nuke. For the love of everything, make Chen a fast redeploy because her nuke is sick, but if only I could drop it more often. So the Seth asks, the Seth 256, just by the way, the other 255 Seths died, and this is the last one. Your favorite chapter in Arknights, also your favorite event. My favorite chapter is going to be kind of obvious since I said my favorite non-playable character, but it's chapter 6, and I already spoke about my favorite event. Natsu Durganzal. I almost said it's Natsu Dragonil. Natsu asks, what event are you waiting for the most right now? Also, congrats with 13k. Thank you. I would say actually the Skadi event, if you want to count that, because well, the Kalsid and Skadi event, the Kalsid one that's before the Skadi and Kalsid event. The reason for this is because I really love finding out more about the characters, and when you have an event so focused on a character and their like arc, I'm really interested in it. Otherwise, the other event I'm looking forward to most in terms of gameplay is the Rainbow Siege 6 event, which I believe had co-op. Yeah, Hasubi asks, quick question, if you could do fusion in Arknights like Dragon Ball Z, which operator would you fuse with Aya? Okay, so I thought about it and I'm thinking Madrak, Amiya, or, and hear me out, Blue Poison. Those are the three I'd choose. Why? Madrak for the tankiness, Amiya because I like her, and Blue Poison because she's my favorite sniper. Hai asks, which inch do you think Silver Daddy has? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna teach you guys the golden rule, okay? Everybody is 8 inches until proven otherwise, okay? Okay, so first time Elite 707 asks this, and I did kind of answer half of it already, but some sort of history on how you find Eyjafjalla as wifeable, I explained that. Can you also tell us why you hate Spot in the first place? So I made a video on that, explaining into detail, which I will link in the description or at the end of this video as well, or in the card. I'll put it everywhere. It's all over the place. Nufal Likes Potatoes asks, let's say if AK introduces a rival or an antagonist doctor, how do you think it's going to be? Then like a reflection of your past self, blah, blah, blah. So we kind of had that. Mephisto kind of was that for us. Mephisto kind of controls the battlefield, and in the beginning of the story, Mephisto beats us by controlling the situation a lot better. He commands his troops well. Where Mephisto fell short was he got really angry, and that kind of blurred his vision. He was also overconfident and cocky. And I think that's showing us a strategist that we shouldn't become. Timothy Tobbing asks, Burb, question mark. Now, this may seem like a stupid question, but he actually hit the nail on the head here. My first ever mobile game was Love Live School Idol Festival. And the first ever character I got was Kotori Minami. She was the character I liked the most. She was my wife in that game. Now, if you don't know Kotori Minami, there's a lot of those burb memes, Kotori kind of burb thing. Yeah, Love Live is also one of my favorite anime. Like, you see, there's just too much anime. Like, since the anime question, I've mentioned Beyond the Boundary, Love Live. I forgot about JoJo's. I love JoJo's.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes.
I'm a very forgetful person. This question has brought many answers, and it was only one word. Good job, Timothy. Good job. Dawn Ed asks, if content creators like you are given a chance to make their own operator, describe him/her and his/her relationship with existing operators. Now, I've actually been working on this for a while, and I have made my own operator. So I do plan on making a video showing her to you guys in the future. So I hope you are excited. Because that is going to be something that I've worked on really hard. I've thought about the skills and everything, the relationships. I've even written some voice lines and things. So it's going to be a full-on character. Blue asks, spot cosplay when? To which I answer, no. Reese HR asks, what is your most favorite word or phrase? Or both? That's what she said.
That's what she said!
No, with that attitude you won't.
No, with that attitude.
Non, on rentre ça nulle part. Non.
What?
Okay, so Zero asks, what character from Arknights would you ship Aya with? This may just be all the art talking. I'll put it on screen and stuff and link to the artist. But there's someone that's drawn a lot of Eyjafjalla and Ifrit art. And I know that may not be like a relationship, like a romantic relationship ship, but that ship, like just that friendship is beautiful, like just the pictures and everything about it. Jimmy Lee asks, why Polarisu out of all names? I wanted it to be Polaris. The reason I chose Polaris firstly is because Polaris is one of my favorite songs by Ama. I mentioned earlier I love stars, and the Polaris is the guiding star, if you don't know. My initial thoughts was, you know, I could be a guiding star for people. But the reason that actually made me really do it was because I was thinking about it. I was thinking about the name Polaris, and then my favorite ongoing anime currently, ongoing is the keyword, Poca no Hero, the opening for season 4 was called Polaris. And when I was like, now you can't just take my favorite anime and name it Polaris and expect me like not to think of that as a sign or something. So I was gonna take Polaris, and then I added the U at the end because just to weeb it up, because I'm a weeb, so Polarisu. Tristan Fernandez asks, after your face reveal, I got really curious. What is your ethnicity and what country are you from? I'm from South Africa, and I am what people in South Africa would call colored, or if you guys wanna name it something else, I think it's known as mixed race. So yeah, I'm specifically from the city of Cape Town, so you can Google where that is. I'm not going to give you any more information before, you know, people find me. Thian Jun Ming asks, how do you make the art with Aya in it? It doesn't look hand-drawn, so do you use some kind of modeling software? So those images are from a game called Koikatsu. It is not a safe for work game, but it does have a character studio, and it allows you to kind of like 3D modeling without any 3D modeling knowledge, you know? Obviously, most people use it for loot purposes. You can trade the characters to people, so I can give you the Eyjafjalla that I use, but I will not give out Eyjafjalla for the sheer fact that I know that if I do, people are going to use her for in the game for loot purposes, so I will not be giving that out. Is Polarisu and Sissith canon now? I'm not gonna answer that question. Captain Toto asks, what type of operator, archetype, or a specific ability do you think would be really fun to have in Arknights but is not in the game yet? What would be interesting would be a character that is allowed to swap places with another character. For example, let's say you have this character, they're like a specialist that can be put on a ranged or a melee tile. And then if they are on a melee tile, they can swap with a melee character. And if they're on a ranged tile, they can swap with a ranged character. Where this would come in handy, I don't know. I don't understand the point, and I don't know what they would do. Maybe they buff people around in the area they're in, and then they swap. You know, like imagine Sora, but you could swap places with a character, so she could be in the right place at the right time. I really don't know what you would use that for, but I would enjoy it. I would just mess around with that. I think that would be really fun. Black Norton asks, why do you love Arknights lore so much, and how do you feel about the music in Chapter 8? I don't like happy endings, and I don't like just like happy stories where something immediately fixes itself. And I like the kind of more dark, depressed tone in stories, because it is in the darkest moments that the brightest characters shine, you know. Characters like Amiya showing everyone that there's hope when there feels like there's none is just amazing. I don't know. I feel like the darker the tone is in a story, the greater those characters stick out. And if you look at something like, for example, maybe I like it because of the crystallization. If you look at Guilty Crown, there's actually crystallization for people on their bodies in accordance to the virus that they have as well. And now that I think about it, isn't it pretty similar? Huh, is Guilty Crown and Arknights quite similar in certain aspects? I mean, they have a virus. There's even singing, which they both have. I'm gonna have to come back to this question. But yeah, I just love it. It's just, I love the lore. It's just, they have such a good world built. And about the music in Chapter 8, it was amazing. All the songs that were revealed throughout it was sugoi. Mwah. Xingyan Lee asks, how much time and effort goes into your videos? Okay, I think the best way to answer this question would be to think about it like how I go through my process. So obviously I have an idea and I think, okay, what am I going to do with this? How am I going to present it? I then record it. Recordings are about 30 minutes max most of the time. I then edit it, which takes about 2 to 4 hours depending on the type of edit, and then making the thumbnail and such is another hour. So I would say about 6 hours total per video. That's how much time and stuff usually go into the videos, although this one's going to take longer because the recording for this one's already been like almost an hour now, so that's good. Okay, so I think I'm going to take 2 more questions here, one being from Akula, which is Lapland or Spectre. I would say Lapland. I like Lapland more. What operator do you think needs a buff right now? I am gonna say Chen, and you asked, I already mentioned that, so if someone already answered that question, then how do you feel or think when you look/stare at AFL's E2 artwork? I love AFL's E2 artwork, I really do. But the issue with AFL's artwork is that it's not as high definition or as clear as some of the other characters. Now, I noticed this problem when I tried to use AFL's art in my thumbnail. When I zoomed in, the corners and things looked kind of pixelated-ish, and I really hope her skin does fix that. And the last question I'm going to answer for this video is Risky AF. Besides AFL, who's your waifu/husbando? What side characters would you want to be added as operators? And who's your worst operators lore-wise and gameplay-wise? Okay, so besides AFL, I really like Dusk and Amiya. What side characters would you want to be added as operators? 9 and Teresa. Now, I know that that's going to be a bit odd for some people. Some people don't know who they are, or like they're like, what? Who are those? But 9 looks cool as fuck. I would like 9. Please give 9. Thank you. CN. And Teresa, I always wished Teresa was an operator from the moment I saw Teresa. I was like, please be operator. Very much, please. Who's your worst operators lore-wise and or gameplay-wise? Spot. I don't believe any character's bad. When I use a character and they feel weak, I feel that's my fault. I feel I'm not using them right. I honestly do. Because characters can be so strong, you know? Like, I've recently, since I've been playing with Amiya and the buffers and everything, if you guys haven't seen the video, I mean, I think you have by this point, I just like, when that's using Amiya, that's Amiya, that's the free character. Like, how can anything be worse than the free character, you know? The freest of the freest characters. So, yeah, it just shows that if you give the character the right conditions, then you can do anything with them. Except Chris. You don't need to give Chris the right conditions. Chris is a god and Chris will smite you down from this world. Thank you guys for that. All these questions and everything. I'm sad that I didn't get to answer all of it, and I'm going to stop the video here, but I have a deal for you guys. How about I answer the rest of the questions on a stream, right? That sounds like a good idea, right? Because there's a lot of questions, and I think it's going to take honestly like a couple hours to go through everything, especially with the way I'm answering it. But I would like to go through every question, go through everything, and answer it properly. So, and if you guys didn't know that this thing was here, please go ask some more questions, and I will answer them in the stream, obviously. Hey, and if you guys ever want to ask me anything personally, or you want to reach out to me, just join my Discord, and you can ask me a question on Discord. Link is in the description. I don't mind answering people. And I do have a Twitter where I post the AF Yalla art that someone asked about. So if you do want to check it out, that's also in the description. Honestly, just go to the description. There's a bunch of cool things. Just start clicking on stuff left and right. Don't ask questions. But anyway, thank you so much. I don't just mean for watching this video. I mean for getting me to where I am now. And I love every single one of you. And don't worry, the Arknights Husbando tier list is coming. And I actually have a very special way I'm going to do it. So I hope you guys are excited for that. And I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye and good night.
もう満タイ